Welcome to another Wingfoil Experience podcast, and today I have the pleasure talking to Abel Lago. Abel Lago is not only a former world champion in kitesurfing, but he's also a true waterman. He is a surfer, surf foiler, stand-up paddler, kite surfer, windsurfer, you name it. And obviously he's also a wingfoiler, and he's in charge of all the development of the gear from Roberto Ricci Design, the brand RRD. And so he's really very knowledgeable about everything that is gear related. And as a true waterman, he's also very knowledgeable about all the other stuff. So we deep dive today into foils, especially for wingfoiling, obviously, but also into foils that you can use in other disciplines too. So let's dive right into it. Enjoy this conversation with Abel Lago. All right, guys, welcome to another Wingfoil episode. And today it's my pleasure to finally talk to him in person. It's Abel Lago in the house. Hey, Abel, how are you?
Good, very good, very good.
Hey, I think people who have been in the kiting industry or have been kiting somehow, they probably have heard your name. But if someone is not been kiting, like maybe a guy who's just started wingfoiling, like please introduce yourself. Like, what do you do?
Well, yeah, I started with windsurf. I started really young competing in the nationals here in Spain. I'm from Spain, from Galicia. It's a small northwest area of Spain. And I started competing in windsurf for many years. And then when the kite came, I started, competing in the World Tour. And I've been competing almost 15 years in the World Tour. And also, during the time I was competing, I was also working with the last years. I was working with RRD, and I become like in charge of all the develop together with Bertel Castelletti. Also, Roberto Ricci himself is always, helping and giving the ideas where to go. And we've been working on the whole develop of kites and boards, and it's been really interesting business, and it's fantastic. They pay me to test kites every day. It's like dream work. Like every day I get a plastic, open, pump the kite, woo! And now it's also coming the Wingfoil, and we are also working on develop and creating new toys. So it's actually amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you have been a team rider, so to say, for Roberto Ricci also for years, right? Like you are the, how could you put it, like the poster boy for Roberto Ricci, more or less, right?
Yeah. I Roberto himself, he is a waterman. He liked that all the riders that we are able to do all the sports. So basically, from the beginning, we all, I compete in surf, I compete in SUP, in windsurf, and we all can take the whatever equipment and go out and perform. And this is what Roberto really loved. And I've been before in other brands, but the Italians and the Spaniards, we have more or less the same mentality. We work hard, but we also join and have fun on the way. So it's. I know Germans. I work with Germans. You guys are. We need to do the work, and the Spanish like, yeah, we can do the work, but we can surf 1 hour and then do the job. It works for us. It works, but it works our way. So, and the Italians are more or less like us. So it's been really nice and a pleasure to work with the Italians. It works for us. It works very good.
Yeah, I guess everybody can learn from the other cultures a little bit, right?
Yeah,
like we Germans are sometimes we need to slow down and enjoy, and sometimes I get the feeling if I'm in Tarifa, for instance, like in south of Spain, sometimes I think like, guys, it's not only fun.
But Spain is a huge difference between north and south. Also Italy, also Portugal. They have a lot of sun. They have a lot of nice weather in the south. So if it's like 42 degrees in the summer, it's like you don't want to work. You want to lie or be on the water. I understand the guys. Here we are in the north of Spain. Here we understand. It's a different mentality, but it's all it's what you say. We need to learn from the others.
Yeah, I got a little bit involved with Roberto Ricci last season because I wanted to bring wingfoiling basically to my home area because I was so stoked about it. Last summer, I discovered it for me. I mean, I had seen it before, but last summer I was like, okay, I tried it one time. I got hooked and I was like, okay, I need to do this and I need to bring it to my surfer buddies at home. And I was calling every company like, do you have gear? I need gear, like 3-4 setups, not like one board. I need 10 wings and then 5 boards and 5 foils. And everybody was like, no. And then I got in touch with Roberto Ricci and Mark Lamme. Shout out to Mark if you're hearing us. He basically said the magic words. He said like, yeah, but what do you want to do? And I was like, okay, he has gear.
Yeah, okay.
so I told him, what I want to do and like testing events and stuff like that. And he was in. And what I really liked is he wanted to know like, what kind of surfer are you? And that resonated with me, what you just told me. He wanted to know like, is this a positive guy, like coming to the beach with a smile, doing different water sports and windsurfing and kite surfing and surfing and I passed the test somehow.
Good job.
But yeah, I really like that because I can really resonate with this. When I go to the beach, I really like the people on the beach, that are open-minded, friendly, and especially in Galicia, I think it's very, very true. I traveled in Galicia with my car a couple of weeks, months, and everywhere I came, people were like, talking to me about the sports and gear and helping me out. That's awesome. So happy to get to talk to you today.
Cool.
So long story short.
But you know the problem is like we still like when it was this last year, no? Well, you become into RD last year. Okay, this year we still having trouble to get gear. So all the brands, everyone is still in the same situation because wingfoiling is becoming very successful. And for us, you were lucky to find some equipment RD. But for me, I still, waiting and it's like, come on, when we will get the new gear? And it also took me almost half a year to get my first wings and to get my first boards, and also last year. And it was also almost the same situation, but I cannot call other brands, I need to wait for our company. So I also was in this situation that you really want to do the sport, but it was no gear. And today is still not much gear on the market. And it's a crazy situation. Never been before.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can talk about that a little bit because I feel like some people that are new to the sports, I have a lot of friends and people call me, like, what should I buy? Blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I'm happy to help with my knowledge, but I feel like some people are even concerned about what color should my wing be. And I'm like, dude, just get one wing. It's super hard to get anything right now,
Exactly. And you get it, and then you hit the sun and you break it, and you are like, no. So get something before the summer because I know all the companies we will be all sold out in June.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. This is growing, and I see it. I have a school here in Galicia, and we have the lessons are just. We have a waiting list already for the springtime.
Wow,
it's crazy. Yeah. It's a lot of surfers want to come into foiling. A lot of windsurfers want to come into, especially people from windsurfing. And I think kiting. If you have a space to put up your kite, here we have a lot of space. We have long beaches everywhere. But windsurf, they are used to carry big boards, and they need a lot of wing, and you need to buy the foil and these small sails and everything. Wingfoiling is so much easy, and for a windsurfer in the beginning, it's very, very similar. It's just like you put the sail forward, the sail backwards to go down, and the sail forward to go up. It's very similar feeling. And I'm thinking all the windsurfers, especially if you live in a place where the wind is not really, really strong and it's gusty, they will all jump into wingfoiling, I'm sure. And this will be fantastic for the industry. So
So you already have a waiting list for Wingfoiling. I just checked your website earlier today, and there was only surf,
no promotion.
kitesurf, and windsurf. No promotion for Wingfoiling.
No promotion, because I don't teach myself. I have my teachers. Actually, I have the guys who are teaching kite, windsurf, and wingfoil are German guys that works here for me. And the guys is still in Germany, because with all this situation of the COVID and all these things, I told to them, don't come, because it's crazy to stay in Spain, because we thought the season will start just in summer. And right now, there's a lot of people, they see me. I have a couple of kids here also windfoiling with me. And when we go to the beach, everybody's like, oh, I want to learn. It's like, okay, you need to wait for my instructors. And I have like a few guys just waiting until the guys come, because especially windsurfers, you go to the beach, they are there with the sail, they don't go, there's 10 knots, and they don't want to do kite, because they already passed the time, it's kite is, they feel is too, the lines and this and dangerous, and they are afraid of. But windfoil is soft, if you hit the sail, it's soft. They are, so they all want to try. It's a lot of windsurfing culture here in Galicia still. So it will be very good. At the end, what we want is to spend hours on the water.
Yes.
So basically, the windfoil opens this door to go with 6-8 knots and have a lot of fun and an amazing upwind, which is the hardest thing when you are on the water. So man, it's, what else? You can go every day. You can go every day here, every day.
Just a little disclaimer, because I get this a lot, like 6 to 10 knots, obviously with your technique and your experience, it's possible, but for the beginners, you need a little bit more wind, right?
Yeah, it's the big discussion when somebody want to buy a foil and the board and the sail. Even Roberto Ricci now, he will introduce a 7 meters, when my biggest wing is 4. I use only 4. And 3, yeah. I can go on 6 knots with the 4. Easy.
And what foil do you use with the 4?
I use a high aspect ratio, a new one that is, they will come in a month. I use, I have 1,200 for light wing and a 900 for strong wing. It's just, of course, not everybody can do, I surf foil a lot. So I have this technique of the pumping. So basically what I do is just 3 pumps with the sail, super hard, and I kick the board from the tail, like super strong. And as soon as it comes up, I push with my foot forward, my front foot forward. So the board do like this, and I'm already up. I start pumping, put the sail down. And because it's a small sail, I can use the 100%, the whole area of the sail. I don't go like this, because everybody goes with the sail a little bit like this. And I really ride with the sail in front of me. So I have 4 meters. I use the whole 4 meters. Then when you have a 6 or a 7, you basically don't use the 100%, not even. You just have it like this the whole time, because it touches the water. So of course, I understand that it's also in kitesurf. In kitesurf is the same. In kitesurf,
sorry, Abel. How big is your board when you go with a 4 meter and low wind?
65 liters. I am 70 kilos, and I use 65 liters. Okay, I don't say that everybody needs to ride small boards, but I see it also in kitesurf. When the people is learning, they really use big sails. They need a big kite, because you want the whole power. You don't have the technique. But as soon as you start learning and you are getting better, especially if you are light or you are really like in shape, you don't need a big sail at all. I have kids here with 50 kilos, and they only use a 3. That's it.
Wow.
8 knots, full on. They are super in shape. They pump, boom, 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 up, ciao. And they don't stop, ciao.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I feel like
dimension. It's another.
I feel like that's the biggest misconception, that when you're coming from windsurfing or kitesurfing, when you go to the beach, you ask the guys, what size do you use?
Yeah,
It's the most important question, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is to the size.
Yeah.
When you are in wingfoiling, you need to learn that the size of the wing is depending on other stuff. Not all, it's more on your technique and stuff, right? And maybe the conditions.
Yeah.
And it's more about the foil that you use. So if you have a good foil for low wind, you can still ride the same wing, right?
Exactly. I think this is the most the most important is the especially the front wing of the foil. So basically, I just change my front wing depending how the strong the wing is, and also for pumping when I'm surfoiling and all this. But for my weight, I test bigger than 1200, and I cannot ride it. It's already like I'm going too slow. I don't start early. You know what I mean? Like if it's 6 knots, if I use a 2000, I will not start earlier than with my other one. And as soon as you are up with the other, you are faster. So if the wind drops, you can keep going for a long time because you are so fast that you pass the holes and you can keep pumping. But I understand in the beginning you really need a big sail and a big foil, and all depends how quick you will learn, because now the people is buying really big sails, really big foils, but as soon as they learn, this is already way too big.
Yeah. I feel like, also a little disclaimer, like when you're living on the sea, you have a constant sea breeze, like even if it's only 8-10 knots. I'm living in the mainland, so we have more wind, like 4 to 14 knots if it's low wind. So then I noticed if the wind, if the holes in the wind, the lulls are just small, I can still use my 5 meter. And I'm good. But if it's like going up and down a lot, it's just more relaxed to take the 6 meter because I have a little bit more power to go through the holes, But I guess if I would be living at the sea, I would probably only use my 5 and maybe a 3.
I think it's the perfect combination when you live in the sea. Here we have, we have a lot of wind in Galicia, so we really don't go when it's very light. But it also happens on the kite. In kiting, I used to have big sizes, 12 meters, 15 meters, 17 meters. And little by little through the years, I started using just 9 and a wave 4. And basically now I go on a 7 on 12 knots. And because you have the technique, you move the kites. The kites now are really quick and really easy going. So, you want smaller and smaller and smaller. And I believe with the wingfoil, we all will look for really small sails because they are lighter, easy, maneuverable. So, I believe as soon as the global level, the general level of the people, it will start increasing, the sizes will be smaller and will be less, sizes. So 7 meters, I rode at 7 meters and I touched the water the whole time. Bang, 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 bang. I don't know.
I don't know what your feeling is. My feeling is we will have probably like the performance wingfoilers that are really like you into technique and wave riding and racing and everything. But I also see like in the early days of windsurfing, we had the people just going back and forth.
Of course.
And I think if you just want to go back and forth, the beginner's gear will suit you also for 2 years if you want,
Totally.
And you will enjoy and you will have an easy life. I just mention it because if someone is listening to us and he doesn't want to be the best in the world,
Sorry, sometimes I'm going too excited. And a good thing about wingfoiling is the range of this your sail. Basically, you just hold it for long time. When windsurfing, especially in windsurfing or kite surfing, as soon as the wing is strong, you really need to get out and change. And with the wing, with two sails, you cover almost all the conditions, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. So, and economy.
It is. Okay, so if someone wants to buy gear, we have been talking about gear a little bit, and you told us about the problem that most brands are already like sold out last year, the whole year. So maybe can you explain to us like the gear you get now, you probably ordered it in fall, right? So So how do you think, like, if someone wants to buy something now, how long do you think are the order times?
No, the problem is if you want to order now, you need to be lucky to get it in stock. If not, you really need to wait. Basically, we do the brands. We do 2 productions during the year. So we get one now, March, April, and we get the second production in the end of the summer. So basically September, October. So if you don't get it now, you need to wait. Of course, there are a lot of brands. Of course, there are different brands, and this year I believe the big brands, they are more ready. I know Roberto make a big investment, and because if you don't sell because you don't have a stock, it's money that you don't make. So basically, I know RD. We will come in a few weeks with the new collection of foils, boards, sails, 2 different models. And for now, for springtime, because it's a moment that the industry, everybody, is getting ready for summer, and we will have a big stock. But the demand is huge. I tell you, the demand we see is amazing, because the people, as soon as they go, they try. Wow, they get really hooked. They buy 5 meters, and it's like, oh, I need something bigger, and I need something smaller, and because it's people who is used to, normally it's people from windsurf, it's people from other sports, they're used to spend, they don't care, they really want to learn, and they get hooked, so they buy it. I see it in my customers, and they are all like, boom, ordering straight away. So yeah, nice. Get ready.
And maybe talk us a little bit through the Roberto Ricci product line for this summer, and bring us through the foils and the boards and the wings. But just before we get started, there's one thing that I really loved about Roberto Ricci, that you got me this one foil and you called it Universal Foil.
Yeah.
And I love this foil. I can use it behind the boat.
Yeah.
I can use it for kite foiling. I can use it for windsurf foiling. I can use it for wing foiling. And I could use it, I haven't tried, but I could use it for surf foiling and for sub foiling.
I learned surf foiling with that. And
the only thing I cannot do with this is dock starts. For me, it's too small. But everything else with one foil is possible. And I love this because, if you buy an expensive foil, it's like 1,200, 1,300, 400 euros.
Yeah.
It's so good if I can do everything with it. So what's coming this year, and maybe also like what gear from Roberto Ricci can I use across discipline? Because this is something I think people are interested. If you're a windsurfer, you can use the foil in many disciplines. That's awesome.
Yeah. Basically, the Universal, Werther, our designer, he was working for many years on that foil, and we designed this foil even before the Wingfoil was exist. So it's a old shape. It's already 3-4 years old. But we all learn surf foiling with this. We all learn because it's very easy. It's a thick profile, so it's really holds you up and you really starts planning and getting up super easy. It's a lot of lift, and it's slow. But it's not really slow. So you have control the whole time. And it's what I use on the school. My kids are using it the whole time, and even when you are good, you can keep piping on this, and they can do jumps and everything. So basically, getting the base of this shape, Werther is creating different size. So basically, this year is coming 1,300. I believe. Sorry, I don't know exactly the sizes because it's Roberto himself and Werther doing the whole test in Italy, because for us, with the COVID, it's almost impossible traveling right now. But Roberto is a really good rider. He was competing in windsurfing. He's a good kiter, and actually he been always controlling every single product that his company made. So he tests everything before he goes to production. So it's actually Roberto doing a lot of tests together with the team riders in Italy. But I know the Universal, it will come in smaller sizes. Also the back wing it will come a little bit smaller, because what we have right now is quite big, and it's great because it's a lot of leaf, it holds you. It's very easy. But for example, for me that I'm light, I want something smaller. And the universal, it's a little bit refreshing. We also have the carbon version, which is super, super light and really strong. This I already have for a year, and I've been testing really hard. And then we will come with a high aspect foil, the whole line.
I see it right here because I was also interested what's coming out.
We all waiting like crazy.
And I see the universal foil is, at least that what I have, is it's the same size. It's 1600. That's the one I have, probably.
Yeah, it's 1580. Yeah.
It's 1582. Yeah. It's now it's called 1600. I think that's a good move because it sounds
sounds more.
It sounds a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And now there is a second one called 2400.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And they both have the same rear wing. And now you're saying there's also a smaller one coming, right?
Yeah, and another one in another shape, a little bit more flat and a little bit more.
Okay.
That helps a lot when you become good. You can still use the front wing, the front wing basically, and you just change the rear wing, and it will change the whole thing. It changed because the foil is super maneuverable, super fast, and it changed really a lot the performance.
So let's explain this to someone who is not into foiling that much already. So what is the front wing and the rear wing doing, and what's happening when you change the rear wing? Can you explain that to us?
Yes, of course. Basically, the rear wing, the back wing, it gives you, it holds you up, and it gives you, because the front wing is like the sails of the wings of an airplane, So basically, when you go up, is the one that holds you, brings you up, gives you a lot of lift. And with the back wing, is the one that keeps you, stable and it controls the direction. So basically, in the beginning, you want something big, something big that keeps you in the same line. And it's not, moving to the sides, and it holds you like really planning with the speed. As soon as you are becoming like a little bit better, especially on the Wingfoil, after 2 weeks, because I believe. Okay, sorry, I need to see.
Yeah, okay. Another disclaimer from me living in the mainland. In 2 weeks, we have maybe 2 half days of wind. One is with 40 knots and the other one is with 10 knots.
Okay.
It takes 4 months here.
Okay, let's put it into mind. Okay, let's say 2 weeks of action. Let's say 2 weeks of action. Yeah. And then you realize that, okay, maybe I want to, do some little turns on the jibes, on the tacks, you want a little bit more performance. So basically, if you change your rear wing, your back wing, and you make a little bit smaller, it will help you on the turns, because the foil and then start turning quicker, it's still having control, but, and then it's a little bit quicker on the tail. So it's actually helping you a lot on the jibes, on the tacks, you arrive with more speed. So, and also because it's smaller, it's less track, so you are faster. So it's actually helping a lot, and just a small little piece on the tail, but it really changed a lot. Especially also when you are into the pumping, because I really recommend to all the people who is wingfoiling and wants to advance and getting better and better. I believe the pumping thing is so important. It's so important for takeoff, on the transitions. When you get a little wind swell, you just can. And if you are good pumping, because I see it now, I have 2 or 3 little kids here on my center that I'm helping them and teaching them. So I put them on the, as soon as they see a little choppy, I just say, hold your wing on the hang and start pumping. And better they pump, better they ride. And because they don't use the wing, they just use the board. And then they really feel more fast and and they really have more confidence. So this changing the back wing, it helps a lot, because the board, you can move the board, you can play with this.
Yeah.
And
And
this,
if I change
yes,
the back wing and it gives me more maneuverability and more speed, what happens if I have a shorter or larger fuselage?
okay, this is a big thing. The fuselage is the one that holds you like. Meh, So basically, if you put a small fuselage, so your front wing and the back wing, they are closer, and then you need to be super careful with your stance, the position of your foot, because we are normally, we come for kiting or windsurf, so we separate the foot a lot. So basically, as soon as you start putting it closer, you also need to close the position of your foot. If not, the board starts nosediving, bang, bang,
Okay.
and then you need to move the foil a little bit forward, because normally you use the foil where the back foot is, or a little bit back, a little bit forward. As soon as you start putting the fuselage shorter, you really need to go forward, and your back foot needs to be after the foil in the back, because if not, the foil is just doing this all the time. And then the pumping is so much. Now at the moment I'm using 50 already. Production is 75, I think, or 70, 76, and we will have 68 or 60. I use a custom, and it's just 50 centimeters. It's so short because I'm so small, skinny, that for me I really want to go quick. So it's actually getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. There is a limit for sure, but it's still too discover.
You could go on a mono front wing.
Yeah, actually, this is top secret, but yeah, we are working on this. I test one last year, and actually I was able to ride super easy. I really like it.
On a Wingfoil?
Yeah. Just one wing. Just one foil. No fuselage, no back wing. It's top secret.
Awesome.
Now Roberto will kill me. But yeah, we are trying. It's more technical, it's difficult. And maybe the market is not ready yet, because you really need to be good riding. But of course, it will come. It will come. As soon as the people is becoming better and better, we will go different ways. I believe I tested already last year, and I was able to ride. Like I was riding it the whole afternoon. So if we work on this develop, for sure we will be able to ride on this for sure. Easy. It will be
interesting.
Fun. Just one thing.
Interesting. I've only seen it from a couple of kite surfers, and it looked like they were, I don't know, like playing in the waves like a dolphin.
Yeah. No, it will come. It will come. I believe. But yeah, if you put it out in production right now, only the teen riders can ride it, and it's too technical, too difficult. If you put also a small fuselage, it's already, the board starts just moving too much. So it become an easy sport. It become difficult. So it doesn't make sense to go that way yet. But industry is going at the moment. I believe the industry is making easy foils. Also, our new high speed radio is super easy. It's super easy foil, because we believe the people first, they need to become good, and then they will ask for something else. But to become good, you need something that you are able to ride, and it will help you to improve. So basically, not everybody is a pro, and the people is what you say. Maybe you do ride 2 or 3 times in a month. So you need something that you go to the beach and you are able to ride from the first second.
Yeah.
So right now we need to be, careful with what we put in production, and needs to be easy gear. Needs to be something super easy that everybody can ride. So this is our main priority right now.
Hey, let's go through the foil a little bit more. I feel like this is very interesting. You have the rear wing, you have the fuselage, then you have the front wing. So what are the differences between front wings? I only see people talking also about the area of the wing, but I think it's a lot more to the wing than just the area, right? Like as we said earlier, your 1600 feels more like a 1750, 1800 from other companies. So give us some background.
Because you can go crazy on designs and shapes. So basically, when I'm talking about high aspect ratio, I'm talking about a thin and long foil. That it will give you a lot of lift because it's like an airplane, so you will come super easy up and you will go really fast. But and then it becomes technical because as soon as you go to the sides, because it's very narrow, the water go to one side, go to the other, so it becomes very difficult. So, for example, our universal is the opposite. It's very thin, it's very thick. It's a short area between one point to the other. It's also very wide, so it really helps you. It helps you when the wind drops. You're still going, and it's big surface, so it stays up all the time. And you are not fast. It's maybe not performing amazing, but it stays the whole time. And it's very, very easy. That this is the most important thing when you are learning. And then now we are coming with a new collection, which is more narrow and long between one point to the other, but we still not very narrow, because if you put it very narrow and long, and then it's very difficult. So we are playing in something that is still a little bit wide, a little, of course, longer, and this will help you. When you want to surf, more narrow it is, more easy to surf. That's for sure. So when you want to pump, when you want to do the transitions, when you want to do the jibes, the tucks, it's super easy. Go, one side to the other. Maybe it's not super, super quick, but also foil, when it goes very quick, it starts to get. So we need control. So that's the way to go right now. I believe the market should go that way, and because we all are learning. We all, maybe just Miles and a few guys, they are super far away, but they need a special gear, and the rest of the world, we need normal gear. That's something that is easy to play, and you get a little wave, and you can turn to the one side to the other, so you really feel like I'm surfing, but at the same time you have enough speed for jumping. So we need to work on this, and the most important is the front wing, which is, but also fuselage, and also the mast. The mast. As soon as you go into this, Roberto been working for 3-4 years just in the rigidity, or the flex and the torsion. So if you have too much flex, it's nervous. If you have torsion, as soon as you go fast, you lose control straight away. So more rigid it is, you need to be really stiff. It really beats super hard. So this is one thing that drives Roberto Ricci crazy. I tell you. When we did the last meeting, he spent 1 hour just explaining why our mast is super rigid. And he do all this testing and all these things, because more rigid, more control. That's it. That's all. So basically, of course.
But on the opposite, more rigid normally means heavier. So that's also something you don't want, right? So
go into carbon. That's why this year we will come with a carbon version with a special construction. It's a really special construction, and it's super light, and super stiff. The carbon one is amazing, and it really changed. In my level, it changed my performance straight away, because I was really feeling like, whoa, I can do whatever I want, and also the pumping, the speed, the control. I have control the whole time. So that's why I can go on smaller foils right now. I'm getting already 900, and I already ordered 700 on the front wing, because you can go smaller and smaller and smaller. So it will be that. We are in a beautiful time. We are in everything is new, and every brand creates new stuff, and we need to have the eyes open, to see what the others also are doing, and it's beautiful. It's fantastic. Of course,
it is.
Of course, we need to make something, easy and commercial. This is what I say, and this is where Roberto is focused on. But it's also, we need to develop and create something new and find the new ways. So it's actually really, really beautiful. From my side, from my work, it's fantastic. I really love it.
Yeah, I can just emphasize, we are really living in an outstanding time. I mean, I've been on the water on Saturday. I couldn't make it to the water on Saturday. We had like 30 knots, super good, and I would have been windsurfing like last year. I would have been windsurfing that day for sure. Like a lot of people did on Saturday, and then Sunday, because I was not available on Saturday. On Sunday, we had like 8 to 14 knots. No one on the water, and I was completely alone with 3 kite surfers with my Wingfoil. And I had a blast.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I think will be the difference, especially in light wing. Light wing in places where the access to the water is not that easy. You have trees, or you have gusty winds, or this, and you have this 8 to 12 to 15 knots. Wingfoil is the winner right now. Is the winner by far. And so, little by little, you will get more comfortable. You will want more wings. So, I was in the kiting when the kiting starts, and I feel we are almost in the same position right now. People come to me and say, but you don't prefer to kite. You jump higher. There's so much. Yeah, but I have so much fun with this new toy. And these people that last year was looking to me like crazy, this year they all want to try. So. And I don't say it will take a space for kite or for windsurf, but it will bring a lot of new people, and it's another toy, and it offers a lot of hours of sailing and riding. So
I've said it in the podcast a couple of times. For me, it's the first foil. Because I've only been kite foiling. So for me, kite foiling was not that much fun. It was more like better than sitting on the beach.
Yeah, for sure.
But with surf foiling and with wing foiling, I feel like it's surfing.
Yeah.
I can feel the waves. I can turn. And for me, a big, big difference is also my mast with my wing foil is 75. And with my kite foil, it was 95.
Yeah.
And it feels like, I don't know how to put it, but it feels like I can feel more the surf, the energy of the water. But maybe the last question for the foil, like explain to us, like what mast length is good for wing foiling and why?
Okay, it's getting very clear right now. Huh? Right now, 85, easy, easy for wing foil, and then for surf foil. Just surf foiling 75, because 85 you touch the bottom almost all the time, and the pumping is too slow. But these two sizes, I think 85, 82. I see other brands, around there. 90 is. I had a 90 and I cannot ride it. I think it's way too big. But 82, 85, we believe is the right size right now. It's almost clear for us that this is the right size. You don't get out of the water. It's easy going.
Yeah. Do you have exceptions, like maybe in certain conditions? Do you use a shorter or longer mast?
I used to do it for big waves. That's why I have a 90, because if it's really, really big, especially for towing with the foil, no wind foiling. But now 85, I believe, is the perfect combination. If it's big and doesn't get out, or if you drop on a wave and it's good. Maybe if you live in a really flat area and you have flat water, you can go on a small mast, which will make everything lighter, and maybe you save 1 kilo. And 75 is also a good size. I use a lot 75 for surf foiling. And a lot of days I just don't change. I just go with this foil, wing foiling. But if you have choppy, if you are in the open ocean, you really need a long mast, but not really long. So because if not, it comes out of the water, and So we are quite clear on this. It's like with the kite line, we all reach a point that 25, 23, 22, 25, depending the brand. And I believe with the Wingfoil right now, for the equipment we have, I believe, in my opinion and in my conditions, maybe, if I go to your lake, I say, here I can use a 60 every day. I don't know. I ride a lot from the ocean, and here we have waves every day, so, and big swell. So I really need a long mast for sure. That's for sure.
Interesting. Okay, so let's wrap up the foil talk. I think that was the longest we had so far in the
Oh, sorry.
podcast. No, it was my fault. I keep asking.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You see, you cannot imagine how many hours we spent testing and talking about it. And unlucky, I cannot go to Italy because Roberto have a garage full of thousands of front wings and back wings and mast. And I love it. It's like heaven. I go inside. It's like, whoa, I want to test everything. It's fantastic because more you test, more you learn.
Yeah.
It's if you only write one thing, you are used to this is it. But and then you try something else and say, wow, but now I can, I can do the tag quicker. Just to put the example, or I can do the tag, and before I couldn't, just because the foil maybe is a little bit quicker or just bigger leaf, or so it will help you to improve. So for me, especially in my position, that I have the possibility to test a lot. And I also test the other brands. I'm not afraid to ask. It's like, can I test it? Even I buy sometimes. It's like, if it's really good, why not? If they have it in production and they tell you, like, we did a lot in kitesurf. If somebody comes with a crazy idea and it's super, super good, man, they may buy it and ride it and learn. Because why not? If you go your only way, it's stupid. We are a small industry and we all need to, try to improve quicker and better. So, yeah.
So, if someone is not as nerdy as you and Roberto are, and maybe someone is just wanting to start, or maybe some things that I also see is like some people they don't learn the foil that easy, and they get frustrated, and then they think I need a new foil. Maybe it's true, maybe not. But if you are not sure about the foil and you're not a technical nerd, like what's something that you recommend? If I want something that is just out of the box working, what should I get? Just I want to learn easy, and then
But
don't worry.
Yeah, but this is where the unifoil, the universal is the winner. Our foil, it works every single condition, everything, and everybody's happy. It also depends a lot of your size and your weight. If you are a big guy, of course you need a bigger foil, that's for sure. And if you are skinny and small, of course you need a little bit smaller. But you need something.
Give us some numbers. Like,
it's complicated because for me, I'm 70 kilos, and if I will be a normal guy, a learner, a beginner, I will go in 1200, 1250, something like this. If you are over 80, I will go on the 1600, something on that way. And then if you go bigger, and then of course, especially if you live in a light wing area, if you have wing, it's different. Be careful, because if you live in Cape Town and you are 100 kilos, you don't need that 2000. You really don't need, because as soon as you go up, you will be like, oh, the foil is way too big and it's too slow. So but for light wing, maybe you need a 2000 for sure. If it's if you want to ride in 8 knots and in gusty wing and this. Over 95, 90, 95, depends also your skills. It's complicated. It's complicated. But what I see is people is buying foils too big. The size is totally wrong. I got a friend, he bought the other day 1400 and he's 60 kilos. He used it for 2 days, 3 days. The third day was already like, whoa. He tested my 1200 and was like, whoa, okay, this is so much easy. I say, yeah, because you bought a foil which is too big for you. So you need to be careful with that. It's like he's 60 kilos, the guy. So with 1200, even 11, it will be so much easier and so much better for him. Maybe take you a few more days in the beginning to get up. Especially the hardest is to get up, because as soon as you get up out of the water, and then it's easy to ride. But the beginning is this. Is the problem is you feel that you need a lot of big wing and a big sail to get up and just go. But as soon as you are up, you are already like super overpowered because the sail is too big. So yeah, but it happens the same in kitesurfing. In the beginning, yeah, you go with such a big equipment. What I recommend is, okay, you buy something big, use it for a while, and then as soon as you are becoming good, just change the front wing. That's it. It's not a big investment. It's just one piece. It's just one piece. You change, you make something smaller, and you keep the other one for light wing. And with two sizes, you are set up. So of course, you all need to learn. So so maybe this is the way. Buy something big and then go something smaller. But I will not, 60, 70 kilos. I will not go bigger than 1200. That's for sure not. And then getting smaller and smaller, or bigger and bigger. Sorry, I mean.
Yeah. So now I'm a beginner. I let's say I have my foil and I have my board, and then now in most boards I have the option to put it a little bit to the front and to the back. Like where do I put it?
Don't worry, I help you on that. Yeah, because I also we spend a lot of hours, especially with surfoiling, and we teach surfoiling in my school, and what on the surfoiling you see it straight away. If you put the foil to forward, when you are paddling, the foil is already up, whoa, and you crash. So basically what we do in the surfoiling, we put the foil really in the back. So you catch the wave, you kick in the back, you start getting up, and you start getting control. So more to the back, more easy is in the beginning. And then as soon as you are getting better and better, you start moving it forward and forward. And then you reach a position which is comfortable for you, and that's it. So what I see now is the industry and the people is getting a little bit better. So it's looking for new high aspect radio. So the new foils a little bit more narrow, which are a little bit less suspension. So you really need to, with these foils, you really need to ride a little bit more forward than with the old. So for example, for you that you use the universal, you need to ride it really close to the tail. As soon as you go into the new foil, you will see that you really need to put a little bit forward, because the front wing, normally you have it in between, in between your foot. But the front wing now is very narrow, very small. So basically you really need to position your foot between that. So because before you have the universal is really narrow, so wherever you put your foot is still holding you. Right now, you really need to be more precise. So you move the foil a little bit forward, and you put your back foot a little bit behind the mast, the front wing in the front, and basically it's just to keep the balance like that.
Okay.
And you need to find the position. So it takes a little bit of time. But trust me, on the surfoiling, you see it straight away. It's straight away, because if you put the foil a little bit forward, they start paddling, and the board goes up like whoa, and crash. So also, when you are wingfoiling, exactly the same. You just start pumping, and they maybe come up super quick, but then it goes really unstable because you have it to forward. If you put it on the back, okay, maybe it's easy. Maybe it's a little bit harder to get up, but you will have more control. So, but also you need to be, if you use foot straps, you need to be careful where you put your foot straps, because this is a mistake from a lot of people, because they move the mast position forward or backwards, but they don't move the foot straps. And then the foot straps maybe are too forward, and then the nose goes down, or maybe, the board goes like this, and you feel a lot of pressure on your back foot. This means you need to move the foil a little bit forward. So you need to learn, you need to play all the time. And now what I do is I take the Allen keys to the beach, and I just move. I spend an afternoon, and maybe you lose one day on the trimming, and then you learn. It's like, okay, RD has some different numbers underneath, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So basically on the school, it's quite simple. We put it on the 4, and as soon as they are getting better, we go 5 and maybe 6. This is the limit with the universal. With the high aspect, we already start 5 to 6 to 7, a little bit forward. So, with Also depends, the weight of the person, the level, of course. But with the foil, you really need to feel balance between your legs. If you have too much pressure on the back, you need to move it forward. If you have too much pressure on the front, you need to move a little bit backward. But we are talking about small centimeters, not.
Yeah.
You need to be super careful with this.
I think I got it all wrong. I think I got my universal foil too much into the front.
Yeah, it happens a lot because you feel that you want to, get up quick, but as soon as you are moving, it makes it a little bit more unstable. It goes to the side. So try a little bit more back. You start to go a little bit more back, and then you will see. It also depends. The bore, and we need to be careful with that because I'm talking about the RD small belugas, small bores. But and even I use prototypes. I use the Dolphin, the kite board, the 45 for a strong wing, and a prototype 65 liters because I'm very small. Now they are coming in production, these boards, but I think what board you use, the 90 or 100 liters?
I have the Beluga 170.
Okay. Well, that's a big. Yeah. No, it's not that. It's a good board. Yeah. Maybe try a little bit more back and play with the foot straps.
Yeah, I feel like I could now go on a smaller board, but it was a board I learned.
Yeah.
And I think it was very good for learning because I could stand on it, even if the wind goes completely. If the wind dies, I could come home, so to say, back to the shore.
Yeah. No, me, when I come back, I go in the water here paddling. I just learned that I need to paddle back. So, yeah. But it's all right.
Nice. So maybe I didn't know that you also teach surf foiling. So if someone already knows how to wing foil, is it easy to learn surf foiling?
If you know how to use the foil, yes. If you know how to ride on the foil, what we do normally, we spend one day or a few hours behind the jet ski. We teach with a jet ski, and even for wing foiling. We teach on the beach, and we teach you with a big windsurf board or a big SUP, and then we teach you with the jet ski, because with the jet ski you learn, where to position your body. You let go, and you start pumping, and this is the most important thing, to learn where to put your foot. And we teach the surfers how to foil, and it's so complicated because the surfers they normally I surf a lot, so basically it took me almost a year to put it out of my mind. When you paddle, you get up and you straight away want to go to the wall, want to go side, and then you go side and the foil goes straight, so you crash straight away. And this is one thing that you need to learn, that you need to paddle and go straight, and then little by little you start turning
like a cook.
Exactly. But even now I still doing this, so it takes you long time. But if you know how to ride on top of the foil, it helps you a lot. So basically, if you know how to surf, you need to forget about everything, because it's a new sport, and you really need to look for different waves, super, soft wave with an open channel where you don't have like a close out or nothing. Here we have a lot of new spots that we discover now, because normally the wave was not very good for surfing, but now for foiling, we ride wave of 2 minutes. We just get up on a outside rock, and we go, and then pumping. And what is the most difficult thing is how to ride the foil. So if you learn with the kite surf or with windsurfing and wingfoiling, surf foiling is not that complicated, because at the end, this is what I told you in the beginning. What you need to learn is pumping, the pumping mood. Because when you catch the wave, most of the time you get too forward or too back, because the speed of the foil is different than the speed of the wave. So you really need to learn the pumping. So I recommend for all the wing foilers to really get good on the pumping. Get the wing on your hand and start pumping. So it will help you on the transitions. If you lose the planning, and you want to keep going, just the pumping helps you all the time. For me, it's everything. It's everything. And as soon as you know how to do this, if you want to learn surf foiling, it's just the takeoff that you need to learn how to do it. But everybody surf a bit, so it's not that complicated. And what we do is we put the foil all the way in the back for the beginners, so the board doesn't get up. So, you go, you get up, and then little by little, poof, you kick on the back, put it up, and you know how to do it because you already do on the Wingfoiling. You have speed. So, it's not that complicated, but it's not an easy sport. It's not like, I believe Wingfoiling is quite easy, but surfoiling is not that easy. No, it takes time. It takes time.
I really want to give it a try next time I'm on the ocean, somewhere where I have a little swell at hand.
It needs to be small. It needs to be very small, very, very small. Be careful because people goes on this swell, you get really smashed.
I heard Dave. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name properly. Dave Kalama.
Yeah.
So he's. I mean, if someone doesn't know him, he's like a legend in surfing, and has surfed Jaws and big waves, and he told a story in an interview about how he learned SUP foiling years ago, and he said like at his third day or something like that, he was on knee-high waves, and then there was a couple of waves, like a little set coming in with belly button high waves. And he said I was paddling for my life to get outside.
So great.
And this is a guy who has been surfing like 30-meter high waves.
It's a legend. Yeah, but you feel like this. It's like now with knee high, chest high, it's already like, wow, it's way too big. So actually, for me that I live on the coast, it opens the possibility to go out every single day. And now in the springtime, we have, in the mornings we have surf, and in the afternoon the thermal wind comes, so we can have surf in the morning but every day. You know what I mean? It's like before you only surf when it's a good size. Now it's small, good, let's go foiling. I have the kids now, and they are praying for the small waves because when it's big, also you got a lot of people on the points, and then you always need to fight a little bit. When it's small, it's just you and your 2 or 3 guys, and poof, 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 poof. And if the wind comes, and then you are the master. You just pump your wind, you get out. Ping, 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 ping. Even if the kiting is not good, because the kiting now I only kite when it's good, when it's like big waves. We have a lot of beach breaks. So if it's big, it's hard to get out with the wing and the board and to do water start on the beach. But with that days, I do kite for sure. But a lot of days for Wingfoiling, more than kite surfing. So,
man, I spent 2 months in Morocco, in Dakhla, at the surf spot La Bouille. I spent 2 months at this one spot in my camper van because I wanted to learn to surf. And in 2 months, I had maybe 1 day with enough wind for kite surfing, for wave kiting. So that was the only day I could really like enjoy, because I'm quite all right with wave kiting, but not with surfing. And then I had a lot of days where it was too mellow, too small to surf, And I was like, I mean, it's in the middle of the desert. You have nothing else to do. You're just waiting for wind and waves. If I would have been able to wingfoil at that time and surf foil, I would have been on the water every day, 3 sessions.
Every day, man. You see me. I was the whole morning on the water. I almost arrived late. Every day. He says, oh, it's good. It's like, it's glassy. Let's go surf foiling. Oh, it's windy. Let's go wingfoiling. So, it's fantastic. It opens a new possibility to get out every day. So this is what we want. We spend our money to just get out. So, a new toy to give you possibility to get out. So, it's fantastic.
Man, I feel like let's talk a little bit about your school, because I feel like what I really like about Roberto Ricci, as I mentioned earlier, I mean the brand, is that it's for people that do different disciplines. Because I feel like that's me. I'm not very, very professional in anything, but I can surf a little bit. I can kite. I can windsurf. So what I really like is if I get something from Roberto Ricci, I can use it in other disciplines normally. So that's awesome. And you are like that. You are a waterman. You do everything. And you teach everything in your school, right? Maybe give us a little explanation what you do.
Everything. We teach, of course, surfing is the most successful. Like To make you an idea, I have 11 instructors just for surfing, just surfing. But the kids who are around me, it's a lot of kids from. We are in a small town. It's not a city. It's nothing. It's just a small town, and there are a few small towns around. So it's all these kids that they come to my school every day. So and they want to help and they want to be around. So we teach them surfing, but we teach them paddle surfing. We teach them windsurfing. We teach them, even kiting and now wingfoiling and foiling. And the kids they think, wow, this is the most funny thing. I want to do. And lucky us, we have conditions for every single sport. We have long beaches, waves, space, and I love to do all the sports. I still loving to do windsurfing and and SUP when it's good for SUP and that this is what I want to the people is like if you come to here and you get like a week with no waves, it's almost impossible because we always have something and wherever you take the car and Finisterre is just right there, and in the Cape you always have waves. But whatever if it's small for you, okay, let's do wingfoiling or let's do kite surfing. So we want to offer the possibility to do all the sports and to all these kids who are around me and I teach them how to do it and they really think, wow, this is normal. This is normal. They want to do everything and they have fun with every single. We go to the SUP and they have fun with SUP. What they want is to stay on the water. So of course you need the money and the conditions. Yeah. But if you can, I always I always tell to the guys, if you have the opportunity, try. Don't be afraid. It's all these people who only windsurfing. I know a lot of people who only windsurfing. How many days of okay? Is you live in Canary Island? Yes, do windsurfing every day. You have 300 days of 50 knots. But if you live in Germany or in Galicia, maybe we'll have a month of full of wind every day, but then we have a month with, I don't know, maybe a week of wind. And maybe from these days, you have 3 days with waves. So the rest of the days, what you do? If you have the possibility to go to, what you want is, if I have 2 hours after work, I want to go to the water. So I say, okay, just, it's windy today, the waves are shit, just kite. And this is what I want the people to understand, that don't be close-minded. Try to do all the sports like you do. You just, and with what you say, if you will do wingfoiling in Morocco, you will have fun. The other, so you use the conditions you get.
Yeah.
And lucky us, we got a lot of conditions. So no, school is running well, and lucky me, I have a good team. They are all open mind. All my instructors, they want to try kite or surf or foil or this. So yeah. I need to buy a lot of equipment to have all
maybe
the water, but
we didn't talk about that beforehand. But like, if I want to come to your school, can I have like a flat rate for renting gear? Like, if I come, can I have one day a surfboard, next day a kite, or
everything? We don't discuss too much. So what do you want to do? Let's go, man. Don't worry. We are super easy going. We are super easy. We are watermans. We if you come to my school and you want to do sports, don't worry. We will find a solution. We are not. Also, we are a little bit Spaniards. We are not fixed prices or close mind. If you want to surf today, perfecto. And then the afternoon is flat, and you want to go with your wife with just with the whole family, SUP, fantastic. Let's go. If you want. And then we talk. Okay, of course we will make you discount. Of course, for me it's like what I want is the people to have fun. For me, the most important thing is that you come to my area, to my place, to my beach, and you live here saying like, wow, this place is fantastic. I love it. And you don't feel that, wow, these guys, I've been there 5 days and then I not even learn kite surfing. They get all my money, and for me, the school has my name and for me, the most important thing is that the people feel that, that we are not doing this for the money. At the end, yeah, of course, you have expenses and all these things, but man, we do this because we love it. If not, we work in something else. You don't become rich, teaching surfing or kite surfing. You just have fun. So this should be the main priority in all the business or in our industry, because it's not much money. It's just time, free time to go to the water. And this morning we have surf lessons, and the kids, there were like a lot of kids on the water, and we went out with the surfoiling, and I was just pumping all the kids, whoa, go, and and they were all sharing me, like, and all the other kids, and we were racing, and like 3 kids catching the wave with me, and it was so fun, so fun. And even if I go with the softboard with the kids on the lessons, I have fun, and we jump on the board, and we throw, and we jump, and so at the end, the most important thing and priority is to have fun, a lot of fun.
I love it. I love it. I really love it, because what I really dislike is, and I've also said that a couple of times, if I go to a beach with my kite gear, people gonna tell me, like the windsurfer's gonna tell me, "Oh, you're a kite surfer."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, but I'm also a windsurfer, you know.
Sorry.
Like,
yeah, exactly. You feel like, sorry, but I windsurf all my life. Like, yeah. And now you are wingfoiler, which is like even worse.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good thing about wingfoiling. Now the kiters, they have someone to look down.
Yeah.
Because it was always like the surfers, they look down on the other sports.
Yeah.
The windsurfers, they look down on the kite surfers.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think,
I'm happy.
Sorry, I think the people who look like the others are cooks or stupid is the first stupid, because what we want is to have fun. Now I'm having fun with this, so just respect. And that's it. And maybe a guy who is just learning wingfoiling and gets the first starting and goes on the foil and has for sure he has more fun than the guy who is struggling with the kite 17 meters trying to do handle passes or. So the important thing is to have fun. So
yeah.
And depending on the level or whatever level you have, is at the end you need to come with a smile. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Man, I feel like let's wrap it up. I feel like we should do a part 2 sometime, because we didn't even touch that you are a world champion. You have been living in Tarifa. I have so many more questions.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
so maybe
anytime.
maybe another time. But if someone wants to reach out to you right now, what's the best place to get in touch with you, and how do I learn more?
Well, we have a website. We have a website right now. Is abellago.com, which is it's just a website for the school. We will come with a German version. It's in Spanish and English right now, and also we will come with German and French, I think. And also we want to offer a full package. So we are working now trying to build and finish a surf house with a restaurant near the spot. So you can go, it's 2 kilometers. We will put a shuttle and take you. And it's between, I have 2 centers right now. One on the waves, which we teach surfing, SUP, even surfoiling and this. And then I have another one on the flat water, which is inside the RIA. Here in Galicia, we have the RIAs. It's just the ocean goes inside the land for 20 kilometers, like the fjords in Norway. So over there, wherever if it's outside 70 meters of wave, inside is flat, always flat. So over there, now I'm opening a new center. It's 4 kilometers between the 2 schools. And we will teach windsurfing, wingfoiling, SUP, and we will have rental of kayaks. Action, we just want to have toys, and between both, we will open a new surf house, which we will offer. Our idea in the future is to offer some camps. For example, if you want, also giving you the opportunity to book a lesson, and also with the sleeping and food and everything, so you don't need to think, because the problem we have in Spain, especially here, is not everybody speaks English, almost no one. And that's why I have a big team of Germans, Italian guys working with me, because we want to be the center and the area where you feel home. If you come with your family, Mark Lambert, he came last summer. Even with the Corona situation and everything, he came to here with the family. The kids, they came every day to the lesson. Mark was surfing with the wife in the morning, and then he was kiting every single afternoon. He had so much fun. You can ask him. It's amazing. And this is what I want to offer, a playground for the whole family, and you don't need to think. You don't need to worry. We take care of you. So this is my idea, because we know where will be good. We know where the waves are. We have jet skis, boats, everything. All the toys. Oh man, nothing. Just go to the water.
I just feel like there's one problem. Like, how do I decide what sport I should do? Because now the disciplines, they have so much overlap.
I know. It's not easy. Even me, when I need to travel, it's like, wow, what I take. Now I only travel with wingfoiling. I don't even put the kite inside. And Roberto is like, guys, come on. So not easy.
Yeah, I feel like I really have been thinking about it, and I feel like because now I'm so hooked on wingfoiling, like I will just bring probably my 2 wave kites, like my 6 and my 8, and 1 waveboard in my car, and the rest is wingfoiling time.
Yeah, I agree. It's what I have on my van. I have a 5 and a 7, a waveboard, a máquina, and then the wingfoiling, and you can go every single day, for sure.
Nice. Man, I enjoyed talking to you. Besides abellago.com, can people get in touch with you via Instagram also?
Yeah. On the Instagrams, in my personal one, Abel Lago, or AL Water Sports. Abel Lago, AL Water Sports is the one for our center. And if it's not me taking, I try to answer everyone, but I have some guys, and they all speak English and German and French, and Italian. So they will take care of you for sure. And if you come, for sure, we will have some time together. Because I know a lot of people wants to come and kite with me and say, don't worry, just come. You will see me on the water.
So my personal announcement, if someone has more questions for Abel or me, like hit us up on Instagram. That would be awesome.
Yes.
I think we deep dive today a little bit into foiling. So that was super interesting for me, because I'm not a technical guy that much. I want to surf, I don't want to learn everything about the foils before I go surfing. I want to go surfing. So that was interesting.
You are German, are you sure?
I
have so many questions. I love it. Go. Just put in front that I really love my work, but sometimes in kiting they ask me some questions and I not even know how to answer them. Like, what? How much the lines weight? I was like, no idea. It's like, but I love it. It's the Spaniards. We are like, yeah, let's go. Whoa. German guys are more precise, and that's why my school is I have Dennis. It's a German guy who is really taking care of the accounts. Precise. The German bank never gets a mistake. Not like the Spanish. I love
it. Yeah, I guess I have to check with my grandfather if I'm 100% German. I'll let you know.
Yeah, you need to see. If you don't care about the equipment, it's something wrong with you, my man. Come on.
I still riding I think it's a 20-year-old custom-made windsurf board. It's still my main windsurf board.
Roberto will get a heart attack if he heard that. Roberto Ricci, which is like, Roberto really love equipment, really love like every centimeter, every millimeter. Man, he will get a heart attack if you ride that.
Hey, come on. Tell him if he wants to send me free equipment, I'm happy to receive it.
Okay. Me too. You can get some free.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Abel, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you. It was really fun.
It was. And I hope we do a version 2.
Yeah.
And I hope you get a great session the rest of the week, every day.
Yeah, now we're still having 2 or 3 more hours of action. Yeah, don't worry. The days are long here.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, friendly reminder, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can also watch the full interview and also little snippets out of it, depending the topic, on YouTube, where you can see Abel explain and use his whole body to explain stuff, which helps a lot, I think, with some technical issues. And beside that, if you are watching us on YouTube, you can also listen to the whole interview as a podcast. If you want to, then you can listen to it while you're driving or cleaning or whatever you want to do. Maybe driving to a surf spot. So, without further ado, I'm really looking forward to the next episode. We got some cool names coming up. I'm excited. I hope you too. And as always, watch your forecast. If you see some wind, go wing it. Get down.